Hi guys! So today I'm going to be tapping into the new moon eclipse in the sign of Leo. Um, I think they mentioned also where Pluto opposing this new moon is going to go retrograde as well. So it's a very big deal, and it's happening around August 12th in some areas, right? It could be a day after or before for some of you. I don't know where you guys are watching from. But new moons is about new beginnings. It's about, usually new beginnings also need to come with some sort of ending. But I feel like it's something where you're gonna begin something from scratch. But because it has so much influences from other aspects, I feel like these new beginnings are definitely going to um, be something that it's going to really push you to get where you want to be, depending where you have your Leo in your chart, right? So, but I will be tapping into these energies for you guys and give you a little bit more about what's going to happen. Um, some people say that it might take about 30 days for you to kind of see this energies kind of unfold. I've seen that happening, but I also say it takes sometimes maybe till the next cycle, which is when we are in Aquarius season and we have some sort of lunation transit or some sort of cycle there where you're going to whatever it you're going to be shown or given, right, in this moon, right? Because I do feel that some of you might be presented with some sort of new opportunities in some way. You're going to start to see the results or maybe even something related around Aquarius season. So just remember that. But let's take a look at this and let's see. So I'm going to use the tarot. And then I'm going to use some Queen of the Moon oracle cards, right, for you guys as um, maybe advice if you guys need to see something. But let's see. What is this new moon in Leo with the solar eclipse going to be showing or bringing the collective here? For those who are watching this video, what is that new moon in Leo with the eclipse going to be bringing? Okay, we have the Two of Wands coming upright. All right, so already, because we are in Leo season and Leo tends to, be a little bit of, and they always say Leo brings drama, but I feel like it's more, with that fire, passion, energy where, I feel like Leo's going to, or the Leo energy is going to be showing people who's the boss, right? Why they are the king of the jungle type of energy, right? Something in regards to some sort of reputation. But I do definitely sense, there could be some sort of downfall here, right? It could potentially bring disruption. Again, that very scorpionic Pluto energy. All right. Okay, I'll take it upright because I saw it upright already. So we started this with the Two of Wands here upright. So I feel that for some of you, this new moon in Leo, I don't know why I wanted to say Aries, maybe because we have the tower here too, and it's just that tower, it's like really popping on me. It's really hitting me, and it's like, it's where, like I said, it's going to be some sort of choice, decision, some sort of path that you guys are still trying to figure out, it comes down to a choice or decision. And I feel that the universe is definitely going to put you in some sort of situation that might get uncomfortable. Maybe for some of you, you are already in this, going through this tower moment situation. Again, because it's a new moon, we want to make sure that, you start off with, clean, like, turn in the page, something clean, fresh, to write something new. There's definitely something here where the new moon is going to, get a little bit uncomfortable for some of you, right, with this eclipse. Somebody said the eclipses are like moon energy within steroids type of thing. So definitely with this tower, I do feel like, I feel like it's going to be a moment of being very uncomfortable, right? But I feel that, this energy definitely comes with, lessons of life. We do have the Eight of Cups here. So for some of you, maybe you have been having a hard time letting go or detaching emotionally from a situation or something from the past. Again, you are being guided to really detach from the situation. And sometimes, the universe will make it uncomfortable, so you're just like, all right, I don't want to feeling. Maybe for some of you it's feeling very emotional, uncomfortable as well, maybe even triggered as well, in some way. We do have the star in the reverse again. For some of you, there's an energy of you needing to isolate yourself in some way and going within with the star, because there's healing that needs to happen here. For some of you, this could trigger maybe some sort of, because Leo's the fifth house, childhood wounds. I do definitely sense here for some of you. So I feel like this is something where you're gonna get triggered into doing that inner work, as um, when inner work related to child wounds. I do get some of you, because we do have the Four of Wands. There could be some sort of disruption in the home, maybe with your parents as well, right? Maybe with the community, because we have the star here. Something I feel like it's where you have some sort of, attachment to something or someone from maybe childhood, from the past, in some sort of way. So I feel like, this new moon is going to come and kind of test that a little bit, and kind of be like, all right, because we have these Eight of Cups in the reverse, and for me, this card kind of means that you are kind of afraid to kind of leave your comfort zone, and you're still attached to something, kind of like also where the umbilical cord is attached still to the mother or the parents or the home, right? Um, for some of you, I feel like you will be pushed to become more independent in your life, to start looking out for yourself. Maybe for some of you, move out of the house, out of your parents' house, or move out from maybe a roommate, and start depending more on yourself, which in some way is going to create this star in the reverse energy, where you're gonna feel like, all right, I feel hopeless. I feel like I don't feel safe, like I don't feel um, supported here by others. But I feel like the universe is kind of saying you can do this on your own. You're meant to do this on your own. We have the Four of Wands here, which is also a card of home stability, right? Celebrations in some way, so I do feel like you're meant to kind of, move in that way, where I feel like for some of you, I feel like you guys have been kind of contemplating on this energy of detaching, because you have some sort of choice decision here, where there's like a, this represents crossroads, either the left or the right. So you're still analyzing that, but I don't think that the universe is going to wait for you to make that choice. I feel it's going to throw you right in there, but it's going to be very difficult at the beginning for you guys to kind of be in the situation. But at the end of the day, know that you are going to be supported, and things are definitely going to start aligning for you guys, because I feel like, also with the Star in the reverse, a lot of you need to work more on your faith. You need to work more on trusting the universe where it's taking you, and bringing also the disruptions in some way, and we also have Saturn retrograde as well. So, Saturn is a parental planet here as well, teaching a lot of you, and I'm pretty sure it's making aspects right now to Pluto, and also Chiron as well. Not Chiron, but all the, maybe the moon, all the planets, right now, and fire signs as well. So it's definitely going to, like I said, get a little bit uncomfortable, or for some of you uncomfortable, but it's going to, put you in the right path where you're meant to be. Let me clarify this tower. Yeah, so we have the Knight of Wands here charging, to you guys. So this talks like about courage. Like I was saying, I can feel that fire energy coming in, very abruptly, and sometimes, it might be where you just get something out of nowhere, something that happens out of nowhere, and like I said, you're not gonna have time to even make some sort of choice or decision. I feel like, for some of you, maybe your intuition has been telling you it's time for me to kind of take some sort of step in my life, um, for somewhere, towards something different, something better in my life. Um, but I do feel for some of maybe some of you have not been listening to this. And you always want to trust the universe in some way. Why is the Star in the reverse? Um, yeah, there's a big energy coming through here about some of you really feeling uncomfortable to leave people or situations, maybe even the community, like I said, the neighborhood, maybe even your parents' home, or yours, where you're very deeply attached to someone or something in your life, right? And you're just scared to kind of take some sort of leap of faith, in your life, towards something better. I feel like some of you have been actually manifesting this opportunity, and it's the uncomfortable part where, it's going to really get you. And at the beginning, you're going to be like, all right, this feels, very horrible and stressful. A lot of you will definitely going to be seeing a lot of this. I would say maybe when you go towards Aquarius season, and you're going to realize that life is definitely going to be taking you where you want to be, right? In some way. Um, let's see what's the advice here. All right. Yeah. So if for some of you, if you have already made some sort of choice or decision when it comes to what you need to do next in your life, I feel like right now you just really need to kind of stand your ground and move towards that direction in some way. I feel like it's a whole lot easier when you keep moving yourself to where you want to be, right? Um, Definitely this lunation, or this cycle with this new moon, has a lot of very stubborn energy with it, um like the energy where, I'm gonna do whatever I want to do because it's my life, and this and that. Well, life has other plans for you, and I feel like right now the best you can do is kind of move with the flow. You are being guided here to, we have the Wheel of Fortune to coming through here, so definitely it's going to bring a lot of changes in your life, unexpected changes. For some of you, expected as well, because the Wheel of Fortune. But I do feel like the Wheel of Fortune here, upright especially, it's a card where you're going to be supported throughout this change. So, whatever that may be, in whatever area that may be. Um, I sense a lot of you, because it depends like where this lunation is going to be triggered or be, happening in your birth chart, but I do sense some of you this could be happening around stability, safety, home, communities. Um, like there's an energy here about, you know, parental figures as well, so be mindful of that as well. Um, and I feel like there's also an energy here for you kind of empowering yourself, right? With this Knight of Wands, taking that risk, taking that step, making bold moves and things like that. So standing up for yourself. I'm not saying you have to go and, you know, we have the Seven of Wands here as well, meaning that you have all the tools, whatever it takes, you know, the support as well, the wisdom, the knowledge. I feel like some of you definitely have very good skills that you're also going to be called to kind of, you know, get out there and, you know, practice or do something that will help you and support you, right? It definitely has a very Aries energy of, you know, the universe supporting you to be independent, you know, in some way, you know, standing on your own 2 feet. Because you can, because the universe is like, yeah, you can. So, all right. So I hope that this kind of helped you. Let's go into the oracles now, and let's see. I'm gonna put 3 cards. Let's see what will this bring. Some of the signs that I see here is, you know, definitely the fixed signs. Taurus, Taurus and Leo, and Scorpio, very heavy Scorpio and Aquarius energy. Definitely Scorpio, Aquarius is going to get hit the most here in some way, right? Another message that I do get here is if you are the one who is having like a roommate, let's say, or there's other people living with you, there might be also a situation here where, you know, these people might have to go. You know, you're gonna probably ask them, hey, you know what, things are not working, right? So again, um, it brings down to that type of energy, right? Where it's time for you to make it happen on your own, right? So, all right, let's see. Even if you're a parent, also if you have like a grown child, I'm not saying, oh, kick your child out, but you know, we got to be real here. Sometimes, you know, I'm a parent too, and you know, we have to teach our children how to be independent because you never know in this world. You know, either way, there, you know, something happens to you, something happens to me. They're going to be here without no skills, no knowledge, and again, having to do, you know, what you have to do, forcing them to kind of be independent. You know, it's something that is healthy and is good. And if they decide at the end of the day, hey, you know what, you're being a bad parent, that's, you know, that's not on you because it's not how it is. Sometimes, you know, that happens. Or friendships too. I've seen, you know, people who have like a friend as a roommate and they just create more problems than, you know, than good things, and it's just difficult. All right. Okay, so let's see. Queen of the Moon. All right, one more. Okay. All right, so the first card we have here is focus. You know, is wanting you to focus in this time, focus on what you want and make things a priority. You know, especially right now where you're going to be given a new opportunity, maybe a clean, my cat's here. What is it, Lucy? No, you cannot eat my card. Go. You're going to be given an opportunity to start from scratch, to start fresh. And there's maybe some sort of goal or some sort of destination that you guys need to kind of get to or achieve. And the energies here is telling you to focus. This could either be like in a study or maybe some sort of financial goal or some sort of stability, something here where I feel like you're going to be pushed to like really focus in getting where you want to be. Some of you may hit this goal around, like I said, about 6 months time. We also have an energy of balancing here too. Um, there's there's like this cloud and there's like all this moon cycles and she's holding the full moon here. So I feel like this talks about, where you also have the power to the choices, right? Depending on the choices that you make, or um, the action you take towards a something or a situation, where I feel like maybe there's something where you need to adjust in your life as well. You could be, not seeing maybe the truth of a situation, or maybe you may be needing some sort of help in regards to kind of some clarity that you're seeking as well. For some of you with this card, I do get, if you are in need of getting some sort of guidance and support, book a reading with the whomever you feel like that might give you that clarity that you seek, that will put you in the right path. We also have discernment as well. So use your discernment this time. Again, we have another figure here who's, having a lot of mental fog, like not knowing, not seeing the truth. So again, use your intuition, use discernment here in regards to maybe situation, people, places, or choices, even, whatever actions you need to take at this moment. So be very mindful of the energies of, and also what is happening. Use your common sense, right? So but again, if you like, I sense some of you might need a little bit of guidance in whatever situation it may be related to. For some of you, it could also be like maybe what you need to do next in your life with this new moon. I can't. Anyway, um, yeah, so that's all I have for you. I hope this helped you and supported you. And I will see you guys on our next video. I'm just looking at the cards. All right, guys, take care.